Yeah, hello! What's good, everybody? It's your boy Romanpuss here with the tier list. I put one out about every 6 months. This is going to be going over all the characters in One Piece Bounty Rush to this date of how they rank in the current meta and how they got going. So people have gone up, people have gone down, depending on how they operate in the given meta and what makes them so important and useful and whatnot. So I do this roughly every 6 months to keep everything updated. I want to do a big shout out to Alita. Thank you for the tier list and making it so organized and stuff and having everything according to how it is. Now, I'm going to try and organize this obviously by tier, and we're also going to organize from left to right. Left will be more powerful than a unit that is to the right. Now, granted, many of these will be very close, so it will be almost, some of them will be non-existent in terms of strength. I'm going to cruise through the units that are not that useful, and I'm going to kind of explain more on some certain characters that may need a little more justification as to why they rank so high or so low, and why I place them there. Now, we have several tiers of units that we have coming up in the total game. You have, the first one's up, you have cola units. These used to be a thing. I think they're kind of phasing out of cola units, given they have hyper boost, so they're kind of whatever. They were just free characters that you get with cola as you accumulate more and more of that. The next tier we're going to have is the free units that you have. These are normally just 3-star units that are generally kind of lackluster, but some are actually kind of viable and can be useful. The next tier we have up is going to be our special events characters. We have special event characters. We have SP. They are basically movie characters is what they are. So SP stands for kind of special, just kind of movie characters, movie units that we have going on that show up and have been done this. So Film Red, Strong World, all of it, Z, anything that you want and can think of. Now you'll see this 4-star tier. This one's your generic step-ups. They were in the base game. Basically that. They're usually cheaper, kind of easier to come across and get to. They're great for support units. They're kind of not as shining in the meta as often. There are some that kind of shine through and can be peak and be very strong, but most of them tend to be generally like 5 or 6 out of 10s and not too strong, but can still be viable. The next tier we have up is, you'll see BF stands for Bounty Fest. You get about 2 of these a month. They're actually kind of the main, like the secondary meta to this. A lot of these units will be very useful for a certain period of time, but eventually they usually tend to fall off. Then the last and final tier that we have is going to be our EX units. You'll obviously see these. Now, I'm making this at the point of Onigashima Zoro just came out, so if there is a new EX coming out the week following this, then I will definitely add them, and I'll put a note actually down in the description below of where I would rank them in this video if they happen to come out about a week later or so. So I will make sure I update this video to that. So anyways, let's get started and let's dive in. Let's just move in tier by tier. I'm going to go through, obviously we'll just go with cola units or whatever. These are going to be whatever. Most of them I'm just going to go quickly because they're older and not so useful. Bonchan is probably the most useful of the cola units. Homeboy can be invisible on the map. He takes flags extremely quickly. He can heal, but since most people out damage and do a bunch of damage and are immune to stun and stagger and stuff, it doesn't work too well. So I'd say I'm going to put him on A tier or whatever. He's going to be more so towards the bottom of this A tier, potentially B tier. I don't know. Might move him down as we get there. Marineford Ace, pretty bad. Bride Nami, pretty bad. Saiyan Croco, pretty bad. Sogeking, pretty bad. If I had to actually rank these, I'm not going to put too much focus on the rank down and the below because these aren't going to matter as much. So don't worry about this bottom tier. From A tier and below, you're usually not going to be playing those characters in the meta. You're going to be playing like SS and above. So I would just focus on this upper half for now. I'm just going to show you kind of where these characters rank and generally use these lower half for support because some of them do have fantastic tags, and I will kind of try and notify that and provide you guys the information when that happens. Anyways, let's move on to our free units for 3 stars. Bonnie could potentially be useful, but if only she was like Golden Week where she could still take flags. She only can go invincible, but she can't do anything when she's invincible. It doesn't really do anything. Capone Veg used to be a boss battle god, not so much anymore. I'd say better than Bonnie. Film Red Luffy, probably better than Bonchan because he's a little more recent. To be honest, it's pretty surprising. Frankie is not that useful. Chapareimon, fantastic heals. Can be annoying. I'm going to put him above them. Can be annoying, but not really shining too much and all too well. Actually, Film Red Luffy, if you have the right metal set and enough sass built to him, you can almost do things, so, depending on what it is. Stampede Luffy, pretty bad now. He's actually pretty old now. Like, it's weird to think that Stampede's actually that old. This Blue Bellamy is trash. Garp is basically trash. Hawkins is one of the worst. I can't wait. Hopefully we get a new Hawkins this year, given we're in like the midst and primes of Wano. So hopefully. Killer was even like, I think he's the worst 3-star to have come out. It's absolute garbage. The Runner Luffy can go there. Rebecca can go there. Remember, I'm not putting too much focus on these because it'll make the video way too long. So I kind of want to, just for time purposes, I'm not going to explain them all too well. This Shanks was like the first character that they gave us for, like, he was our reward character that we got. Red Shanks Defender. Pretty bad down here. Tashigi can be a rat if you want to counter. She can run around and do things if you want, but that's about all you're going to do. This Viver, to be honest, I didn't even really realize this Vivi was a thing for the longest time, so I would not focus too much on that. Zolo. I didn't realize he was an event. Dressrosa or Alabasta Zoro? Wow, that's interesting. Gaimon can be annoying. Right about there. He can be annoying. He can kind of hold because he actually goes invincible for a certain period of time. But in general, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. So hopefully you guys can see the characters. I'm going to list them and name them as we go. Wiper. Can be obnoxious. He just snipes from afar and he just takes flags pretty fast. But other than that, he's fairly useless. Smoker Tashigi. That one's Smoshigi. I'll put her at the top of A. She's not that useful. Koala. I'll put her above A. Carrot kind of goes A. Bonkichi. Better than the free units for sure. Sorry, I moved to the 4-star tier. I should have said that. We're in 4-star tier now. These are the units that are like step up tiers. And kind of, or we're in the base game to begin with. So I'll let you know when they were. These are all step up so far, basically. Virgo can do damage. I'm going to put him... He's right around here. I think he can one-shot some Logia users. We'll see what happens if it becomes a Logia meta. Virgo might actually have a purpose, especially if it's a blue Logia meta. But for now, it ain't happening. Timeskip Brook. Just a green runner. He's not that great. I'm going to put him down here. Bartolomeo. Would not use him. Arlong. Would not use him. Put that in the free tier. Or, yeah, basically bad tier. Reiju. Somewhere around here. Don't put too much focus on that. Don't put too much focus. As you'll notice, these lower level units are obviously on the lower half. That's not coincidence. That's just Bandai. These, if they're cheaper to get, they're going to be not as good of units. As a general rule of thumb. Not always, but most of the time. So, Cabbage, still pretty not good. He stuns, and everyone's like immune to stun who's like in the meta, so would not recommend. Timeskip Chopper, he actually used to be a monster, but he's not very good. Arm Point Chopper, put that in the free unit tier. No, he's not good. Do not use that. Crocodile, I'll just throw him up here. He's like kind of there. That's original Alabasta Crocodile. He started in the game. He was like one of the first units in the game. You could summon on him and Green Anel. But now they kind of give them to you for free, so. What is this? This is Timeskip Frankie. Pretty bad too. Those two are kind of, don't use them. Anel, I'll throw them right next to the Croco. They're both pretty bad. They actually used to be playable, obviously, at the beginning of the game. And they were kind of fun, but you can actually stagger them out of their basic attacks or their skills, and so you can't really do much with that anymore. Hyogoro, now that there's so many people who inflict status effects, like between Big Mom and Kaido, his healing is actually pretty useful. I don't remember if he's immune to stuff, so he's kind of okay. He's not going to be a god. I don't think he does all too well of damage, but in general, he seems useful. Shinobu seems like a fun trolley unit, but I don't think she's truly shining, so yeah, don't really use that. Don't really use her too much. I don't know if she's that great a support either. Hina, down here in B tier. I used to love her. I whaled a bunch of gems for Hina, and I loved her. Drake, there's so many beast pirates, especially with King, and then you have Kaido. Drake is actually very niche because he's only good against the Animal Kingdom pirates. Why they made him so niche, I don't really know, but he's definitely better than Hyogoro. If it's prime beast pirates meta, I think he's pretty good. He can actually destroy, especially a blue defender Kaido, he'll destroy you. So watch out for this blue blue attacker X Drake. He's actually like one of the newest step ups that we've gotten. Pretty kind of decent looking unit. They could have done way better. This kid, the only unit that they've actually unintentionally nerfed in the entire game ever in the history of One Piece Bounty Rush. I've been playing since day one, by the way, for those of you that don't know. Yeah, just don't really play him. He's fun and his kit's cool and he looks beautiful, but he's not it. Kappa's pretty not good. I might put Bonkichi above Kappa, to be honest. Don't play that. Not it. Don't let Soul tell you otherwise. Kaya, trash. Please don't play that either. Nightmare Luffy. Kind of down here. He's a very old unit. He actually did pretty good damage. He was prime meta for a good chunk of time, but not so much anymore. Baby 5. I would honestly, these two stick at like the same. They're about the same. They're pretty good. Baby 5 can swim through the ground. Not Baby 5, Senior Pink. Jesus, I saw the baby in, so it's messing me up. Senior Pink unit, Red Runner. He can swim through the map. He gets damage reduction while he's swimming through the map, and he's not immune to status effects. So you can still incinerate him while he's in there. But overall, Senior Pink's pretty solid unit. You can cap flags, you can do things. You have a knockback on your shield too. You don't have that much damage, so you pretty much just cap flags, and that's about it. The real Baby 5, very good in boss battle. I would recommend getting her for boss battle and leveling her up because she is very good in getting that 1000 hits combo. So would suggest her, especially since we're on boss battle as we speak. Definitely better than those two. She struggles a little bit in the combat. It was during a Kainu meta, though, but she's not so good against Shanks either. So you probably can sit there and be annoying, but you're not good in 1v1 situations. But you're pretty good at backing up your team and can kind of do pretty good damage. You pretty much have to build her full damage, though, if you're going to play her. She's not a defense defender. She's basically an attacker, but they made her a defender class for whatever reason. Inarashi, I'll throw him in SS tier. Seems fine. Gastino, Gangster Gastino. Homeboy used to be so good. He used to be so good. Now he's just... If he had more damage reduction, he'd be much more useful. There's a lot of people who are immune to percentage damage, though, now, so that's another thing. Doji kind of sits her up with him. Can be tanky and a defender, but not so much. I never realized how much those two are literally the exact same. Wow. I did not realize those two are basically copy pasta. I never put that together. They have the same shoulder tattoos and everything. Interesting. This law is terrible, Stefo. Don't play them. Don't play that law. It's garbage. No. Nami, she has the clone. She can kind of juke people out. She's pretty more useful. This is, what is that? Wano Nami? Onami? Is that her name? Bellamy 2. I don't want to put him that high. That seems a little over-exaggerating. Bellamy, he's pretty good. He can take flags. He can push people off flags. He doesn't knock back, but he pushes back. Well, he does knock back at the end of his pushback, but he can do both. So all he does is a skill 2. He heals. He gets the defense buff up to 30%, and then he's pretty good. And he's immune to status effects once he's 50% or below. So pretty useful unit, I would say. In terms of capturing flags, you're not going to be killing things with him. You're pretty much just full defense HP and just go around and cap flags and kind of assist your team where you can. This Sanji, not it. He can heal your allies, and that's about it. One time for like every 40 seconds or something in a 3-minute game, by the way. Time skip Luffy used to be the prime runner of the meta. I'll leave him here. Hina's probably better than him now. Oh, he's better than Time Skip Brook though, for sure. Rob Lucci, pretty bad in this area. They're old. They're just old. I wouldn't say they weren't bad for their times, but they're just old now. Well, Rob Lucci never shined because he was in Blackbeard meta. Green Smoker, I'm just going to throw him down here in the dumpster fire. This is garbage. No one really cares about that. Kobe can be an annoying rat, but you're not killing or fighting anything, so you pretty much just stall and take flags. That's it. As you'll notice, that's a lot with the step-up runners. You can only just take flags, and that's your only purpose. Usohachi can be annoying with your trampoline. He has a little bubble that he shoots down, and when people walk on it, they get knocked back and fly anywhere and everywhere. So it's pretty weird to perfect dodge too. So it's not even a free perfect dodge. It just depends. You got to be tricky with it. So Usohachi, he's not too terrible though. He doesn't really attack though, and his ranged defenders are kind of awkward and weird to use. So that's another thing he has his downfall. He's a red defender, by the way. Time skip Robin, red attacker, not that great anymore. I'm just gonna throw that down there. Kaku, red runner. One of the fastest runners ever to exist. He still can kind of shine. If you have him hyper boosted by now, which more veteran players will have him, he can still run around and take flags. And he's just speedy. It's what he does. It's Kaku things. Dressrosa Law. Put him down here. I think Shinobu might be more useful than him. You're pretty much just a free kill. You have your counter that can kind of be useful, especially if you have team boost, then it'll be useful, but that's about it. Oh, Kiku. Kiku, can't you see? Sometimes your mask just hypnotize me. Yeah. Oh, Kiku, my queen. Okay, I'll put her. She's better than Kaku, probably, right? And Usohachi. I'm gonna move all three of these actually down here. I think they're kind of more in the middle back. Like they're not that high. This seems like more like you're getting into the meta, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't like them there. Perona. Oh, she's old and she's not so good. She's no, just don't play that. I love her. She's very fun. She was the first person to like bring in the inability to attack, and I loved it. So she's the only person who can really do that besides Beckman. Luffy Taro can hit pretty hard. I don't know. I'm gonna put these down here. I don't really like that actually. I'll put Doji down there. He seems a little more useful than Doji, so I'm gonna put those down there. They're not quite like that good of meta. Time skip Nami. Not it. No, she's not. I'll put her down here with her friends. So they all came out about the same time. Nekomakuchi, put him right next to Inuarashi. They can be kind of annoying to deal with, especially he's a red runner, he's a green attacker. They do different things, but overall they both have their purposes that they can serve, so can be useful. Kanjiro, green runner, can be annoying, but the thing is he stuns. A lot of people don't have immunity to stun, so I'm going to put him down here. I may upset certain people. Probably not too many of you, but I think he's kind of more so down here. Burgess, down here still. I'm going to put Burgess. He could probably wail for a good chunk of damage. Probably like 40 to 60% of someone's HP, but in general, you're not that big of a deal. Courtesan, he brought a feature where he can hide all of the enemy team on the mini-map, which could be very annoying and very useful. I wish his skill worked a little differently, but overall, not that great. You can't really fight that well. It's unfortunate. Scratchman Apu, not so good anymore. Old, not great. I loved him. I was so excited to get him when he first came out because, I don't know, he was one of my favorite supernovas, but I don't know, I've kind of lost interest in him. Buggy D Clown, fantastic support. Would recommend leveling him for the support. Can still do decent amount of damage, but in general, there's knockbacks and stuff. So one of your skills is useful, your skill 1, but your skill 2 is not. I'll let you guys go and read what those are. But in general, you can do damage with your skill 2, or your skill 1, but your skill 2 is kind of hard to use because everyone knocks back. So watch out for that. Harpy Monet, some people are still playing her and able to actually utilize her fairly well because she is a wall user. Wall users kind of don't really fall off too hard, but can still be useful. She doesn't do too much damage on this. You really have to build damage on her. If you want to build her and do damage, you have to do HP and attack because her shield skills off HP. She does give herself a defense buff, so keep that noted as well. Pudding can still do pretty good damage. She can take away people's skill cooldowns, especially since no one's immune to stagger, or no one's immune to status effects is the word I'm looking for. God, I cannot think. Status effects. So she can apply, she has her film status effect, which takes away their cooldown and basically treats it like a stun, but it's not a stun. So it has a purpose and is very useful. So Pudding can actually do a good amount of damage, and she's ranged, and she actually does increase damage with her basic attack. I'm really excited. I want to run Beast Pirates support with her. Will be kind of nutty because you'll be doing so much damage with her basic attacks. It'll be crazy. Jinbei, never really got a chance to shine. Poor Jinbei. We need a good Jinbei unit, and all of them have just kind of been mediocre. So I'm just gonna throw that down there. He's not too great. Franosuke can do pretty good damage. He can one-shot almost any attacker. He's very good at fighting the attackers. If he catches you in his abilities, he'll do some fat damage, but he's not too hard to kill. He's a glass cannon, and definition of a glass cannon, like you're gonna waff him before he waffs you. Mr. 3, kind of the wall users. I'll put him down at the bottom. I don't know. I actually still want to put them down here. I just don't feel like they're like that deserving of too high up. They're wall users. They're like a 50-50 chance. Like if your team's gonna win, you're gonna win. If your team's not gonna win, you're not gonna win because you can't really push with them. They're just they're only defenders. Kyoshiro can be tricky. No one can really be knocked off flags though. He can look like the enemy while he's above 50% HP. He can look like the enemy and run around the map, so he can kind of be useful. Depends on that though. Snake Man, Red Runner Snake Man. I think this thing's kind of bad now too. He's not really shining too much. I'll put him. He's like right here. Snake Man. He doesn't really do too much damage. I don't know. He's pretty easy to kill. It's not a big deal. Oh, Robbie. I'm still gonna put her up here because she can be very annoying. I think Bellamy's better than her probably, but Orabi produces a clone that can sit there and kind of defend a flag, and she also helps her take the flag faster. So one of the fastest flag cappers, if not the fastest flag cappers in the entire game. Very annoying, but not really mobile. She just has good things to knock and push people off the flag. Snow Day Chopper, not very good. Occasionally you can waff out some damage. I'll actually put him up here. We'll put him in the middle of up here, so we'll throw him in here. Seems good by these people. If you can land your abilities somehow, some way, he'll do fat damage, but if you're not, it's like almost impossible in this meta, or in this day and age. This Weaver's kind of bad, don't play that. This is time skip Usopp. I'll put them right with the other time skip Straw Hats. They're all kind of just bad. Rouge, 50% defense buff. Doesn't really shine that much. I don't know. he was very good for his time. He got a 50% defense buff, and that was one of the highest at that time. So he'd just be super tanky. Now he's not shining so much anymore. Hopefully we'll get another version of him eventually. We'll see. Marco, 4-star Red Runner Marco. This one's probably better than Snake Man. I've always thought he was kind of equal with Snake Man and Doflamingo. Yeah, he can fly across the map. He can heal people. His skill used to do good amount of damage, but I don't know. It was a very fun unit to use. The model looked fantastic, but yeah. This one is this Ace Marco? I think this is Ace Marco. Let me find... No. Okay, so this is Ace Marco. This is Marineford Ace. Green Runner, Marineford Ace. Not so good anymore. Not so good. I don't know. He doesn't shine anymore. Why do I have this Robbie up here? I'm put her down here by the other Timescape Straw Hats. I messed that up. Marineford, I'm going to actually put him down here. He's not shining so much anymore. He has a knockback on his counter. That's about it. He's a counter user. You hit him, he just shoots a fire blast back at you. Sentomaru, you can stall, you can be annoying. I'd say he's just like Rouge. Sometimes he'll be super tanky, sometimes not really. Most of the time, not really. But yeah, that's about it. Mihawk is garbage. It's the original Mihawk. He's not that great. I don't know. He's so slow. You're not going to get anything off. Golden Week, probably still up here. She's still shining just because she's invincibility, and no one's immune to status effects anymore in the main meta because they're shutting Shanks down. So she's always been the bullier of EXs. So she's actually pretty solid. I don't know. Given this meta, you might be able to get away with doing more. Well, no, there's a lot of people who can actually still deal with her. So I'll leave her down in SS+. Vista is pretty good. I'll probably put him at the top of here if not. Well, no, he's better than X-Drake. Vista, pretty good. Blue Runner, he gets so many stat buffs and stuff, but in things of like, you just have to watch out for things like Roger and Shanks and things like that. I don't know. Hybrid Kaido's probably pretty good against him too because the anti-heal. He's just lots of heals. He's got his counter and can be tanky and just sustains a lot. So watch out for that. Perona. This Perona's probably could be useful, but no one plays her, so she probably could be pretty solid in terms of just annoying people with her stopping people from being able to attack. It's actually an insanely OP ability, so I think she could be pretty solid. She's very viable, especially if you build damage on her and just let your ghosties run and hit people. Alabasta Luffy, garbage, don't play this. Izo can do good damage, but for the most part, you just kind of sit there and you wail. I'm going to put him lower here. Can do pretty good damage. I don't know. You guys might be upset with me. Probably above these two. Probably above them. No, I'd say he's same with Bellamy. Yeah, probably right here. I don't know if I'd put him up here. Yeah, potentially. Yeah. The thing is, if someone actually focuses you as Izo, you're usually not able to do anything unless you're in like a team fight and have a teammate to help you. This Luffy, I don't know. This Luffy was fantastic for helping me. I title hunted him not too long ago. Very good against hackers. I would use that. Recommend for hackers if you're trying to title hunt. Would recommend. In terms of actually fighting in combat, no, he's dog. Don't play him. Arco just doesn't have the damage. I'm going to put him with all the wall users. They're just kind of chilling there. They all have like heals and sustain, and yeah, it's not that great though. Smoker with Tashigi. He has a skill that can do damage, but that's about it. I don't know. He has one smoke skill, and that's about it. But you don't have much sustain, and you'll just kind of die. To be honest, I'll put him lower than them. I think he goes down here. He's never shined for me. He's like right here, probably by Koala. Can do damage, but like you have one skill that does damage is a super long cooldown. This time skip Snaggy, pretty bad. Not it. The original Miss Sunday, the original person of the hackers, Raizo, red attacker Raizo, actually can do pretty good damage. I'm not gonna put him too high, but once I get him level, I think he's gonna be good. I think just no one gave him a chance, but I think he's actually gonna be able to do pretty good damage. Raizo will be like Izo, like you'll be able to do fat damage, but if people focus you, you're not gonna be able to do too much to protect yourself. So I think Raizo. I have Baby 5 way too high up. I don't like Baby 5 that high up. I need to put Baby 5 like down here. She does not need to be up there. I'm sorry. I take that back on Baby 5. She can be good and do damage. I don't know why I put her up that high. I think the rest of these I'm fine with. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's Baby 5 just does not need to be up that high. Baby 5 can be actually lower. Way lower. Sorry, I misjudged that. I don't. The more I think about it, compared to all these other units, I just reevaluate. Bonchan, pretty bad. Don't play him. Holiday Robin. I don't know. Some people who actually care about her, I think, will actually like say she can do things, but I don't think she really does too much. So I think she's just there. She has a clone or something ability. Not very useful. Very outdated. Zoro Juro, just outdated, to be honest. He's down here. Down here, probably. Skypia Zoro, outdated. Was good, not so good anymore. So, right there, probably. No, Rage is better than him. No, we just put him somewhere around here. Yeah, the ranking, I don't care about this tier that much. Timeskip Zolo. Still bad. What's your teammates? Aokiji, he actually got a buff. But still not that great of a savior. I'd say he's with these units. That seems fair. Yasop. Just don't play that. Don't play that, please. Waffle. Don't play that. You don't do that much damage. Film Red Nami. I think one of the most undervalued units. I think she's very good. She's kind of can like be like these rats. The invisibility. Since everyone complains about how brain dead their teammates are, right? Brain dead teammates don't know how to look at their mini-map, right? And they especially don't know how to look up at the top corner to see what enemy units the enemies are playing, like what characters they're playing. So when you see an Onami is on the map, but then you look at your mini-map and notice there's only, 3 people, you need to run to your flags and try and predict which flag she's going to go to as quickly as possible. Very underestimated unit. I think she's very good. Most people don't play her. She's not going to fight, but she will win you games if that's what you're looking for and you like being a little sneaky rat, then that's your go-to pick. These are the special movie tier. This is kind of any units that have been like through different movies and whatnot. So yeah. This Chopper, I feel like he never got to shine. He was the only reason he's good is for support, but I don't think he fights very well. And he doesn't defend very well. He doesn't really do much very well. You're just good at support. He's just a godlike support, and that's about it. So he's a green defender support. Very good because greens needed Zoans. Usopp. He's not going to be good in the meta. He can do damage and he'll hurt, but I'm going to put him down here for now. I don't think he's that big of a deal. He's really not that hard to deal with. Like, he can kill you, but he's got to do a lot. Like, it takes him a lot more effort for him. So just be conscious of that. Like, you're going to have to put in a lot of effort to, like, kill things specifically. Like, especially if you're 1v1. If you're fighting with a teammate in a team fight, you actually can get away and be pretty... I'd say if you're fully in a team fight all the time, you'd be, like, here. But since some people might just target you and you'll be 1v1, I'll put him down there. Bullet. Bullet's still... Wow, Bullet quickly fell off. Everyone just, like, dropped him quickly because of Shanks being a meta thing. So, Bullet potentially could be very good. Maybe against Zolo, too. After his buffs, he's much better now. Tesoro, given the status effects, I'm going to put Tesoro actually up here. I hated on Soul for ranking Tesoro so highly. As we're shifting out of the green attacker meta, I think Tesoro's actually going to be very monstrous in terms of the way he uses gold. Once I get mine level 100, I think he'll be pretty solid. I don't think he's going to be like the greatest. I might have this X straight too high. But you can definitely, you do so much damage. Like when the Zoro hits you, when literally any of the 3 meta units hits you, Kaido, Big Mom, Oni Zoro, like you're turning them all to gold and you basically one-shot them with your skill 1. So that, like, he's actually pretty insane. I think I'll put him above Vista, but those two are just rats and have free games. So Tesoro's maybe a little too high. If you want to rank him lower, go ahead. But once you get a level 100 max Tesoro, I promise he actually wails and does so much damage. Like, and you can turn Luffy's to gold too. Like, you actually turn a lot of people to gold. So he just needs a little more sustain and need to be so much more insane. Shiki is going to fall out of the meta. I think they both kind of sit near each other. Once you get them level 100, you'll really see. But I think it's kind of hard to see because no one really has either of these two level 100. Like, there's a very small amount of people that do. Shiki was much better during Shanks meta, but no one had him maxed yet. So I think Shiki will be... if Shanks is ever just in the meta, Shiki will be good. Those former Roger Pirates is what makes him good when fighting those. But... like, any Roger Pirates or former Roger Pirates, so Rayleigh's, Roger, Shanks's, those are who Shiki excels against, and that's about it. He's not terrible against other people, but that's just who he excels against. This Boa, Stampede Boa, gonna be prime meta. She's gonna kill Oni Zolo, she's gonna kill Big Mom, she kills Hybrid Kaidos, she kills almost everything. She's kind of very annoying and frustrating to deal with because she petrifies. And if she doesn't petrify, she just defense buffs. So, the thing is, if it's a Luffy meta, she'll be bad. If it's not Luffy meta, she'll be shiny. This is Sabo. I think he's still I don't think he's great. Everyone said he's great at the buffs. I don't think he's that great. He's whatever. Beckman can be annoying. I'll put him down here below. Yeah, I'd say these two fit pretty well together. Beckman can just be annoying. Probably better than Kyogura though. That's a little hard. I don't know. That's pretty. If you want to fight for whoever to be above there, I'm fine with that. I don't find Beckman to be that much of an issue. He's just kind of a pest. He's like a fly on the wall that doesn't go away. Yasop. Now, if you're a perfect dodge, God, Lord, Master, Senpai, then Yasop's going to be shining greatly. As I said, ranged defenders don't shine that well. I don't think they're that great. So, I really don't think Yasop's that worth. So, I'll put him actually down here at this bottom. I think he's fine here. He's probably better than these people, but Yasop I don't think shines that well. Just because he's good to stop runners, but that's about it. This Smoker, this is Stampede Smoker. I'm going to leave him next to the Sabo. After the buffs, they're probably about the same. I don't know, the buffs really help them, but they're not crazy. Uta, brain dead unit. Literally, you want a free win, just play Uta, especially if you're hyper boosting or have over 100 hyper boost. Yeah, it's just as soon as you land your skill 1, you're just gonna kill whatever you want in the meta. So Uta, up there. I don't. Brain dead literally is 1 brain cell. All you need to operate that. Love her, but brain dead. Adios suerte. Not so good. I don't. He doesn't have heals. He's not that great. I put him down here. Probably below the wall users. Adios suerte. Pretty fun unit. Can do damage, but doesn't really have heals. It doesn't have sustain. So he can transfer over his attack buff, and that's about it. So if you run Adios suerte with Blue Boa, because it'll give her a permanent attack buff, she'll basically always be left with 1 HP. So if you want a fun combo, I would do the Adios suerte plus Boa. That is actually disgusting and crazy. You'll see why. If you just read through their traits, you'll understand. Bounty Fest, Bikini, Hancock. Where's the Bounty Fest, Bikini, Nami? I'm going to throw that on there too. Where's Bikini, Nami? They kind of came out the same time. They're just not that great. They're very old units. So Bikini Boa was always terrible. Bikini Nami was a little bit better. So I'll throw her right here. I don't know. Next to those two seem to go together. Jozu, just got him. I think he's fantastic in terms of damage reduction. He doesn't have very, like, if any, offensive capabilities. So I think Josu's just kind of sit here and tank. So, yeah, pretty much just chill. I don't know if he's probably better than Beckman. Probably better than them. Josu's pretty solid. As we move to the Bounty Fest, we'll start filling up this upper half a lot more, you'll notice. I think I want... No, Josu's actually pretty up here. If you have that damage reduction, he'll be nutty. He has so much damage reduction, it can be Giga Tank, but you just need someone to help you fight, is all. Queen Sama? Oh, love Queen Sama. Is he better than Josu? I'd say he's almost the same. He doesn't tank as much as Josu, but he's very good at stalling people. He's pretty good since he can be ignoring status effects. You just gotta watch out for... No, not even... Status effects don't even matter to him. He can stall. The issue is like someone like Big Mom. Big Mom can take a flag even if Queen Sama's on the flag with his invincibility. So Big Mom is kind of what ruins his viability in the current meta. So that's what I'll shift him down for. I don't know if Bellamy's better. I don't know. Queen Sama's just kind of a solid unit, but not shining so much anymore. Sabo. Red Attacker Sabo. I don't know. He's fine. I don't care too much about him. He's older. Probably better than you. Sabo. Yeah, that seems... 2 red attackers, they're fine. If you want to put them above Raizo, that's fine, yeah. Rayleigh, old green Rayleigh, not so great anymore. Probably about the same with Kiji. Jack, oh, phenomenal attacker. Too many people remove attack buffs now, so he hasn't really survived that much. And he's just flat damage healing, so he doesn't heal that much. But I don't know, Jack is a very fun unit to use. I really do like him, so pretty fun. Great support if you really want that. Whitebeard, people keep saying, trying to praise that Whitebeard's like a god. I'll throw him up here. To be honest, Jack is definitely better than Whitebeard. You can fight however you want on that, but I definitely still think Jack is better than Whitebeard. Whatever you want to do on that. I may make a lot of people upset with that, but that's just gonna be what it is. Wedding Snaggy, not so great anymore. He used to be really annoying and he was kind of a rat, but he can just be a rat. It's like whatever. This Law is not good anymore. I would not play that. That's an old Law. This is one of the tankiest units to ever exist. This is any zombie Robin. Put her like right there. That seems fun. Yeah, below them for sure. Too many people have knockbacks. She can't stand a flag anymore, so she doesn't make her that good. Magellan, oh, originally used to be so good. So many people heal off percentage damage now, so poison's like one of the weakest status effects in the game. So Magellan's not great. Blue Boa Hancock attacker. Oh, I love her. She was so fun, but too many people were immune to status effects. Or yeah, so the petrification didn't really work that well. And just the way she ranged attacks is just so awkward. It doesn't work that well. You just have to be careful because when you're basically, so many people have fat range with their skills. So as soon as you're in range of basic attack, they're in range of skills and they can pretty much just kill you. So watch out for that. Red Boa Hancock. Fantastic. Beats Dressrosa Zoro. You'd be surprised. Trust me. Watch the soul clip. I have it. Go into my Twitch and type exclamation Red Boa and you'll find out why. True. Twitch.tv/Romanpuss. Just saying. She's just old unit. Yeah, she's definitely better than that one. This red one's better than this one. Enaru, Enel, whichever you choose to call him. Pretty good defender. Pretty good deep damage reduction. If he had heals, he'd be so much better. Pretty much just if he had heals. If either of these two had heals, they'd be phenomenal. I think Magellan was still better. Blue Salvo, don't play this. Another blue defender. Just don't play that. He's bad. Jinbei, blue attacker. Fantastic damage increase if you're on an enemy's flag and you're fighting a Devil Fruit user. But other than that, not too much going for you. Probably, yeah, probably here. Cortisone could probably be up here. Yeah, probably there. Fujitora, again, damage reduction, but no heals, so that's his problem there. Gecko Morty, green defender, used to be phenomenal back in the old days of meta, but not so much anymore, so Gecko Morty is just kind of bad. I don't know, his basic attacks are literally the slowest in all of the game ever, so you can't really do much with that. Okay, how many units? We gotta speed it up here. Okay, I'm gonna start chucking people out. Bartholomew Kuma, used to be fantastic against all runners. Not so much anymore. Pell, blue attacker, had fat attack buff. Too many people have knockback, so he's kind of useless now, so would not recommend. So I'm just gonna chuck him here. Judge, blue defender Judge, was actually really good. Actually really good. Probably better than Queen Sama. He can actually one-shot. The issue is staying on your flag, so just be careful of that. You have heal on knockback too. Just make sure you don't get anti-healed. Probably actually up here with Jozu. Pretty solid, pretty solid, pretty solid. I would say actually Pell's probably higher. Pell's up here. Bottom of SS. I would say he's better than this though. Maybe better than Blue Her too. Yes, as long as they don't have knockback, but too many people have knockbacks now. Actually, Pell's so bad just because too many knockbacks. Rob Lucci, red one, can still be viable, still useful. I'd put him next to Pell. They're actually pretty close. Pell's definitely better than Rob Lucci though. Green runner Croco, if only he's only good on like dash maps because he can dash across the screen and across the map relatively fast. So he just takes flags, especially Fishman Island. He can be pretty solid. Other than that, not too great. Bounce Man, pretty old unit. Don't really play him anymore. No one really plays him. He's good for support though. Any Luffys are great for support. Luffy has anti-heal. Can do damage. He pretty much just do skills though. Not that great. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, not that great anymore. Sengoku got a buff. Pretty solid. I would say fits about here. Fits about here. Seems a good A tier. Let me start zooming out. I know this is going to hurt your guys' eyes. X Drake, red attacker X Drake. Very old. Very not good. I'm going to put him down here. Definitely below the wall users. Below these people for sure. Below Shinobu. Below blue attacker. Yeah, below these people. Somewhere in here, roughly. Definitely not that great. He's not shiny. He was never good. Onigashima Luffy. Remove attack buffs. Remove cooldowns. I'd say pretty down here fits pretty good. SS tier for sure. Bounty Fest Blue Aokiji. You stick him down here. He's not good anymore. Shiryu. With all these runners. Some of you may say Shiryu is godlike. If you're a good Shiryu, you can be pretty much a monster. I would say you fit up here. How high do I want him? If you're really good with Shiryu, if you're god with Shiryu, you can actually be pretty good. I feel like these two just have so niche of things, actually. I'll put those two right there. That seems just like a little bit too high up, though. Maybe I'm insane. This blue ace attacker, garbage. Don't play that, don't play that, don't play that. He's just not good. Bounty Fest Big Mouth. Now, if we're talking, if you're a hacker, you're very much right here. If you're a hacker, you're right here. You're getting top of the charts every time. If you're not a hacker, well, You're probably getting the boot down to here. She used to be phenomenal. Oh, no, the even lower. Just even lower. Yeah, she's probably down here. I care about my big mom, sorry. Probably about there. Yeah, that's about, seems about right. A green big mom, love her. She's one of my top units played for sure. Eva-chan, I don't know why I'm scrolling so high for Eva-chan. He's down here. Love me some Eva-chan. Probably sits below here. I don't know if I'm caring too much about this order anymore. They're just in this tier. Consider all the tier relatively equal. Red Kata actually do fat damage. I'll put Red Kata up here with these attackers. Kind of can do good damage. These two glass cannons basically though. This one is Green Attacker Kaido. No shirt is Green Attacker Kaido. You can whale, do fat damage, but pretty much the not that being able to dodge while you're in your booze mode does not do too much justice for you. So I'd say you're somewhere here roughly. He seems better than that after the buffs. Let's say I'll throw him right there. Karu, Vivi. Oh, I love this unit, but she was just so not good anymore. She probably sits there. She got destroyed by people with Incinerate, but there's just better runners, especially red runners now. There's King. Since King's out, if you have King, this Vivi's not really worth like playing anymore. But she is good support though. Diamante. Oh, he's kind of a glass cannon too. Definitely SS tier for sure. I put these green attackers all relatively in the same spot. Alright, Dr. Zolo. Top 3 attackers, by the way. Just kidding. This Dr. Zolo. Don't play this anymore. Please just stop. It sucks. He ain't good anymore. Don't play it, please. Actually, if I have Snaggy right there. Why do I have Snaggy right there? I'll put those down there. Those two I feel like are relatively equal. They're not very good anymore, but decent supports. Blue Bounty Fest Doflamingo. Pretty solid unit. Let's see here. If I would put him, can still be annoying with his wall, can still do pretty good damage. I'm gonna put him relatively here. Hey, so weird to interrupt, but we're gonna fast forward a little bit. Obviously, this is how I end up placing them, and this is how it ends up like working. So this is what I was gonna go with originally, and then I did some evaluating. I did some speaking with a few people, and I was like, maybe we need to make a few adjustments to this tier list. Because I was like, I went back and I was like, okay, wait, why did I even place them like that? So obviously, the initial time that I record this, maybe I need to sit back, relax, and look back at what needs to be adjusted. So I'm gonna rearrange. I changed this to top 10. We're changing the top 2 to top 10, okay? So top 10 people, characters in all of One Piece Bounty Rush. Actually, I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit. So I'm gonna rearrange Big Mom overall as trying to be non-biased. She in general, this is gonna be kind of who offers you the most wins, right? So Big Mom, she can defend, she can take flags, she can defend while people are on her flag, and she can charge with the flag. She can also take flags while people are on the flag. So she actually has a lot going for her, and a lot of things like that won't really fall off too quickly, unless someone just unless they release a new character that just does what she does but better. That's generally the only way she's going to fall off per se. So anyways, we're gonna keep that there. King probably still number 2. I think we do like that. Luffy, I think I put a little bit too high up. Luffy will probably put farther down. Zoro, I will actually put above Shanks. I don't know why I lowered him like that. He deserves to be higher. He is very good unit, very solid unit. So Zoro is up there for sure. These other 3 units probably will destroy him, to be honest. Kaido, honestly, we'll put him above Shanks too. We'll kind of boot Shanks down a little bit. So this is kind of how I want to throw this. My Akainu, that's going to be my top, like, these are the top units for sure. I'll throw in, we'll actually make it to top 10, so that's only, what, 7 units? So I'll add another 3 units up here. So, in general, I think because we're back in the meta of being able to canlify and doing all of that, the petrifying and all status effects that you could possibly think, I think Perospero is going to be up there. Akainu, I think I did have a little bit too high, so I'm going to kind of push him down a little bit, per se, because he's kind of got too many things that are removing him. Like, he's not going to be fighting Zoro, he's not going to be fighting Shanks, he's not going to be fighting Luffy, there's all these units are generally going to destroy him. Uta's probably the only one. Uta and Perospero up here are generally the main 2 that he's going to destroy. He could probably kill Kaido, but most times Kaido will be able to remove his ability instantly. Yamato, probably bump back up here just because she's still very annoying and she can still like Big Mom has knockbacks, but she doesn't have too many knockbacks. I think she only has like 1, maybe 2. So Yamato can actually still grab flags in front of her. So I've like lost Yamato, so that Yamato can kind of hold her own fairly well. So that this is gonna be a little awkward. Is moving Blue Kaido up. I think Odin kind of deserves to go up a little bit. Zephyr needs to be moved way down because Zoro, Onigashima Zoro being in here removes the status effect, and Zephyr without his status effect is very much not that useful. So we're gonna bump him down quite a lot. I'm actually going to move him down probably below these units. I would say his ability to stay on a flag kind of puts him above Pepe, but he might not. He's probably actually not going to be that tanky. So honestly, page 1 might be a little better because page 1 will at least be able to tank a little bit better. So for now, no, you do have the percentage. I'll keep Zephyr just because I'll keep Zephyr above page 1. Golden Week, because there's people, since flags are getting capped to 150% now, I don't think Golden Week is going to be as good, so I'm going to boot her down a little bit. Just because 150 flag cap, your invincibility is not going to last long enough, so it's not going to work that well for her. Therefore, I'm going to tone her down a little bit. Treble, I don't know why I had him so low. Treble definitely needs to be up here. Honestly, I think Treble could still go up in... With his ability to last... Because I have what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I want to put Treble in top 10, but is anyone else more deserving of the top 10 position? I don't particularly think Boa. Odin still kind of gets smashed. There's so many knockbacks, so Odin's really not that big of a deal. Odin does do damage. Like, Odin can kill Big Mom if he gets, like, a cheese on her. If Big Mom's ready and, like, sees him coming, in general, I think you'll be fine. Like, Big Mom will be able to fight Odin, but if she doesn't see him coming, then he can definitely, like, wail on her and do a fat damage, so... Just depends on what we see. Also, another person I need to bump up here is Tesoro. Tesoro's definitely up here with that status effects, the gold infliction. He can basically one-shot whoever he turns into gold. If he turns them into gold at any point in time, they're going to die. So that's a thing. I believe this is more organized. Roger's just not very good anymore. I think we'll bump up Kaido. Kaido's purely good just for his charging of flags, and he can sit there and he can hold... Like, Kaido can pretty much hold against Big Mom. He can hold against King. He can hold against Uta, provided he stays on his flag and can't be status affected. Zoro can eventually work him down, but in general, you can still... It'll take Zoro, like, a long time to work him down. So, it's still pretty good for a defender. If you can hold for, like, a minute against Zoro, you're still doing your job as a defender. Kaido can still hold hybrid Kaido, and... Like, all the rest of these units, Kaido does fine against. Well, these two are the only two that kind of, like, destroy Kaido. So, these two are the only ones who are going to bamboozle him. Otherwise, Kaido does just fine against all these units up top of here. So, these 3 attackers are the only ones who are probably going to destroy him. All the rest are being well played in the meta and are not too big of an issue. So, overall, I know a lot of people are confused on this Nami. It's purely the fact that she does not fight. It's just the fact that she runs and can take flags, like, sneakily. And so... A lot of people will lose games. This is in terms of, like, who's going to win you the most games. This is kind of how I'm operating this. So Nami can be up there. She's actually pretty solid. Vista, I do think I want to move above the Brook, and I think I do want to move above Shiryu. I don't know if he's particularly above Rayleigh. I don't know. Don't look too into this. I do want to emphasize, don't look too deep into this. They're all in the same tier. They're all very good. They're all very solid. Jozu, I think I could actually move up here. I think above him. Jozu's going to be a little more in the meta because he's going to sit there. He's going to be able to hold a lot of these units, and the damage reduction is actually insane. So Jozu's also removing status effects, so the anti-heal's not even going to work against Kaido. The damage reduction that he has is going to help him significantly as well. So just a lot of things that Jozu has going for him. A lot of people don't have Jozu. A lot of people don't like playing defenders, and so that's why most people are not going to be playing him for the most part. Blackbeard, I need to tone down a little bit. I think I had him a little bit too low. Soba Mask, I need to bump up. I don't know why I had Soba Mask so low. His invisibility puts him up there and kind of allows him to do stuff. I'm going to kind of put him next to Vista. I think him and Vista kind of have their own strengths going for them, but makes them about roughly equal. I think I would like to put... I really don't think Captain Kid can be too high up. Ulti's just so circumstantial. I think I want to move her down a little bit. Ulti's so circumstantial, because if they just have no attackers, then she's not going to do much. So I'm going to bump her down a little bit. And I want to rearrange that. Jack, I think, can actually be up here too. I don't know why I had Jack solo. Jack can still do good amounts of damage. People are forgetting that. Jack can actually, like, do good amounts of damage to Big Mom. Granted, she does remove, like... I believe she removes the attack buffs. Yeah. And Uta is actually going to destroy Jack, so just watch out for that like tier above that. But Jack can actually do a good amount of things. So in general, do I want him this high though? Actually, because a lot of these units in top 10 are going to demolish him easily. But there's other things that, yeah, there's other factors that come into play. I think with all the attack buff removals, I'll actually take him down. No, I'll keep him down here. I'll keep him down here. Is there any other people? So Bullet, X Drake. I don't know. I think I have X Drake too high. Doflamingo's probably not too good. This Usopp probably can bump up a little more than these units. I think Usopp deserves to be up here. I kind of like underestimated him, kind of dumpstered him. Diamante, probably better than Ryza, probably better than Overabi. I think Diamante right next to Law. These two seem very like similar in terms of how strong they are. I'd say these two go well together. Yeah, those two go well together. I think that fits nicely. That fits really nicely. Orawi, Bellamy, Frankie. When I say these are better than Whitebeard, yeah, probably. Orawi. Big Mom's probably... Big Mom's just status effects are actually still pretty useful, so I'm not going to lower her too much. But Pell's just not that great. I think I do want to lower Pell. Beckman, I underestimated. Beckman's actually a much better unit. I think Beckman deserves to be higher up. I think he can be up here. Beckman's ability to stop people from attacking, especially all of those units above who are not immune to status effects, that Beckman's actually going to come back. The reason Beckman was not great was because of Shanks, but now that Shanks is kind of falling out, Beckman has a way to push back in, and Beckman's actually very obnoxious. I feel like I've said his name 7,000 times in the past 2 seconds, but work with me. So, anyways, I think he's phenomenal. I think he'll be able to do the things. That's just some restructuring that I wanted to kind of take into consideration, kind of rearrange some things overall. Now, obviously, this is not like 100% set in stone. Some of these units, like, I'm not saying that Diamante is 100% always going to beat Sugar here of this. Like, don't take this too literally. Just because, like, Jack is here and Frankie's here doesn't mean Frankie's not going to beat Jack. Like, doesn't mean Jack's always going to destroy Frankie. Granted, he has color advantage, but, like, it's just a good idea kind of to help you guys organize, like, a little of where they're actually at in the game. So, in general, just take into consideration what tier they're on. Don't worry about who's on the left and who's on the right too much. Just focus on these. I do need to add someone to the top 10. I think Treble potentially is on top 10 because he's so obnoxious to try and deal with. If you have a max Treble, especially if you build him full tanky, granted you won't be able to kill things, but if you build him full tanky, you'll be able to hold for quite a while. I don't know if anyone else's deserves to be top 10 exactly at this very moment. Because Treble can fight Odin. There's just a lot of things that Treble can do because of that trait that allows him 60% chance to not take any damage is actually outrageous and is a very large amount. You can sit there and you can pull so many of these runners, like you can pull King off the flag so you don't even have to get him and hit him 3 times, technically 4 to knock him off the flag. So it works well. So I do recommend Treble's actually a fantastic defender. I think he's one of the better defenders. He's definitely up in the top defenders, given we have Big Mom, though, for sure. Definitely overshadows him because she has the 150% cap. And she can also go offensive, too, if she needs to when she's being a runner. So, I think this will be my top 10. Many of you might dumpster it, but I think that actually goes... To be honest, I almost want to put Treble above Yamato. Yamato's alright, but why play Yamato when you can just play King? King's just a better Yamato, to be honest. I would say Yamato is tankier when fighting attackers, but King is more mobile and allows him to go take flags. I'm actually going to put Treble above Yamato IMO because Treble can pull off any runner, no matter what they have. Marco, Odin, Yamato, King. Treble can pull all of these runners off the flag without having to do anything. All he has to do is either skill 1 them or hit his second basic attack that just pulls them off the flag too. So he has what's called a pull. That no one's immune to a pull ability, so he can just waft that. So overall, Treble is actually fantastic. I know I have him maxed out, so I kind of know his full potential. It's actually insane. So Treble will actually get you a lot of wins, and you'll be very annoying to deal with, unless you have like one of these units up here. It's actually very hard. If you can status effect him, it's like the only way to hit him. But then you only have a 40% chance to status effect him. Is the thing. So. Or you gotta hope and pray as Shanks that your skills actually land and hit that 40% chance to hit him. So anyways, did I move Blackbeard down? I did lower him, correct? I wanted to lower Blackbeard. I think Queen, honestly, because he's immune to status effects, Queen I can probably bump back up. Him and Beckman are probably actually pretty close to each other, can be up there. Blackbeard probably needs to drop down a little bit, not so useful. Purely useful for his EX ability, but overall, you're actually pretty killable. I'm actually probably lower him down here. He's not immune to status effects. If you have status effectors, he's dead, so I'll lower him down here. He seems to find a fit in this area, I believe. Is any of these people better than Blackbeard? Oh, I did want to raise God. Usopp can still be very annoying somewhat, so you do have the ignore defense. You're not insane, but since Akainu's not so much in the meta anymore, you're also kind of being obnoxious. So, and potentially Usopp can sit there and kind of beat on Treble a little bit. Treble will still be able to kind of be fine and deal with you, but Usopp can just still be a pest. So I'd actually say, well, I think God Usopp's better than Film Red Usopp, so that's for sure. This Drake is just so circumstantial, so I honestly feel like I should lower him a little bit. I want to lower him a little bit more. Lower than Onigashima Luffy. I think Drake can go here. Seems fine. Just because he's so only against Animal Kingdom pirates. If it's Drake, it had his stats against like anyone, he'd definitely be like SS tier, but he's literally only against Animal Kingdom pirates. But still phenomenal unit. Just, you gotta keep that in consideration. Like, I've had these Drakes kill my Big Mom before. It's happened, so watch out for that. I think I'm a little happier with this. It was just some things I wanted to rearrange, especially this top 10 I needed to take into better consideration, so wanted to watch out for that. So what do we have? We've got Big Mom, we got King, we got Uta, and then the question is Kaido or Zolo. I'm really not sure. Uta is phenomenal. You also gotta have a good set. I might actually go Kaido. I'm not saying Kaido's gonna win a 1v1 against Zoro, but Kaido, you can just knock him back or just like anti-heal him and then you can just run away. Like, the anti-heal on Zoro is also very obnoxious for him. So Kaido's actually pretty solid. I don't think he's... No, I think I like this way. I think I liked Uta above. I think I like this. Kaido's actually still very useful because of the back caps and sneak ability, so you could potentially put him above that. I'm not saying strictly Zoro's going to be better than him, but it works out pretty useful like that. So I still am unsure about Akainu. I don't know if I should keep Akainu or put Akainu top 10. Or if I should have Treble top 10. I think everyone's going to maul at me for Treble top 10. I'll lower him because Treble's not the best at killing people. We'll actually lower him. I don't know if Akainu is top 10 even either. I don't even know if Akainu still deserves top 10. Akainu can still do some damage though. If you're not someone who's equipped to fight Akainu, it's not going to work. I'll leave him top 10 for now. There's just so many people who take away his lava state and then he's useless. Screw it. No, no, screw it. I'll put Treble top 10. Y'all are going to maul at me, but Treble I think is top 10 for sure. I think Treble's top 10. Just because of that invincibility is actually insane of a trait, so. Zephyr. Do I want to lower Zephyr even more? Is Kid better than Zephyr? Potentially. I might replace them, actually. We'll put Kid a little bit up here. Captain Kid and Page 1 seem like, yeah, I'd put them pretty close together, yeah. That seems good. I need to lower Zephyr, just because Zephyr's not the most offensively, only against Devil Fruit users. So when he fights non-Devil Fruit users like Shanks, does no damage to Shanks. He can still remove his attack cost, but does no damage, so. Dolphy, don't undermine him. He's actually very strong. These are still very strong units. These units are still very capable of doing damage and actually being able to win games in the meta. It's less likely than like up here, but overall, I think it's solid. So this is going to be... I think this is my tier list. I think I'm happy with this. Overall, Big Mom is probably the best unit. She's got the heals. She's got the invincibilities. She's got 4 skills, unlike literally anyone else in the game. Even EX Luffy only has 3 that does damage. As well as she has 2 of the most useful classes, being Defender and Runner. Now, people hard underestimate Defender, but Defender is one of the most useful and needed classes. Just people don't like playing it. So, and she has the damage to be able to be an attacker, so it works out really well for her. So, overall, I think this is my Season 97. We will be entering Season 97 in a couple days. That's why I wanted to prepare you guys for this. Remember, I will update and add the new EX, which is looking like Hybrid Yamato, potentially. We did kind of get rumored leaks. They were, I believe, confirmed to be fake, but it's still possible, and especially with where the anime's at, I think it's very possible that we still do get EX Yamato. is possible for next week, which is insane because 4 EXs is an awful lot and people do not have that many gems. But overall, I think I'm happy with this. So hopefully this kind of guides you guys and give you guys a rough idea of where units are at. Remember, all we care about is this top 3. This bottom half is kind of whatever, so I wouldn't really care too much about that. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to follow my Twitch, Twitter, and join my Discord. I truly appreciate it. That is twitch.tv/Romanpuss. It's also at RomanpussLol on Twitter. And my Discord link is down in the description below. So I just appreciate if y'all join that. I hope y'all have a wonderful night, morning, evening, whatever day it is for you. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Yeah, peace, beautiful people.